Hello, folks, and thank you for tuning in. Last week, I did an episode about Jordan Peterson, and I can't thank you enough for the overwhelming response. Almost 900 views. So in this episode, I want to delve a little deeper into that subject with some new information you'll definitely want to hear. So sit back, relax for a few minutes, and enjoy. Before I go any further, I want to again send a very sincere thank you to the person who sent me the question in the first place, Crystal Ball of New York City. Because without your fantastic question, Crystal, I wouldn't be examining what I'm going to be talking about in this episode. Now, you'll notice in this episode my picture of Sam Vaknin, who is a professor emeritus in psychology and is well known throughout the world of psychoanalytical analysis. His primary focus seems to be on malignant narcissism, but he speaks on other areas of mental illness and mental dysfunction as well. If you've never heard of him, he has tons of material on his YouTube channel, and I very much enjoy his videos. He has a very relaxed and often funny demeanor. Hell, sometimes when he's discussing a mental pathology, he's even having a glass of wine. Damn, no shrink I ever heard of did that, or better yet, offer a client one. And with the fees they usually charge, they sure as hell could afford to do so. But seriously, besides him often being humorous, his analysis of mental disorders is very informative and fascinating. I simply can't recommend him enough. But this episode is not about singing the praises of Professor Vaknin, nor to further criticize Jordan Peterson. I'm actually going to talk about you and your overwhelming response from the Jordan Peterson episode. I wanted to add a little food for thought about some things you may not be aware of. Now, I'm a relatively new content creator, so if you don't know this already, here are a couple of things about me that I think you should know. When I started doing my podcast and YouTube, I had two primary rules that I wanted to strictly adhere to. First, that I don't accept outside product or service endorsements, because my feeling on this is a simple one. Once you start going down that slippery slope, you automatically sacrifice a certain amount of your objectivity, commonly referred to as selling out. And I don't want my objectivity to be compromised in being able to speak the truth as I see it in any way. So I hope you can respect that. Secondly, I want my listeners to know that I'm not here to win a popularity contest by automatically endorsing whatever happens to be the current popular thing. Because not only is it insulting to your intelligence, but it's insulting to my own. And just like you, I don't like to have my intelligence insulted, especially by talking about irrelevant or stupid shit, which doesn't really help anyone. As far as money is concerned, I'm certainly not rich. I'm what you'd call semi-retired and doing the best I can to survive. Yes, I ask for donations, but I don't have a Patreon account, as many big-time young YouTubers do. I'm more like the guy on the corner carrying a sign, saying something like, "We'll podcast insight for food in the fridge." No big corporate contracts or book signings for me. Well, at least not yet anyway. What I have definitely learned beyond any shadow of a doubt, especially as a consequence of the Jordan Peterson episode, is that the listeners I have are definitely intelligent. And based on the emails I have received, you definitely don't seem to worry about fitting in with the rest of the crowd or needing to jump on popular bandwagons. And you're willing to listen despite how uncomfortable the subject matter may be. So I just wanted to let you know how much I deeply appreciate that. You know, it's really great when I hear from people who are not afraid to voice their opinion or ask questions. It's reassuring to me to know that there are truly independent thinking people out there who still have the balls to explore a different perspective. So when I put the Jordan Peterson episode up there, I thought it might be a bit controversial, but I wasn't prepared for how much. Many of the questions and comments I received didn't appear on YouTube, but were sent directly to me via my email. I mean, which is perfectly fine. Most of them were civil. Some were definitely supportive. And some of them, well, they were downright hostile. Now, I've never been one to play my own fiddle, so to speak, but I thought I would share with you just one email I received from, let's just say, someone who wasn't exactly a fan of what I had to say about Mr. Peterson. Quote, "Obviously, you don't understand the greatness and intelligence of Jordan Peterson, Earnest, whose books are read by millions and loved by millions, and who deeply appreciate the depth of his ideas. Are you too stupid and opinionated to understand that?" To which I responded, Adolf Hitler's book, Mein Kampf, or My Struggle, was also read by millions and loved by millions, who apparently also deeply appreciated the depth of Hitler's ideas. Now, what were you saying about me being stupid? The overall point of what I was trying to illustrate concerning Jordan Peterson is the effect of mass cult of personality. Unfortunately, because so many of you are so perceptive, you got it. You got what I was trying to say. And that made me feel really great. Knowing that there are so many perceptive people out there, I just wanted to thank you. It's why I keep doing what I'm doing. So what all this boils down to is this. If you like Jordan Peterson, hell, if you think he's the best thing since baked bread, or even the second coming of Christ for that matter, fine. I don't give a rat's ass. As they say, that's your prerogative. But what I do know from history is when a mass of people has a negative or even violently critical reaction towards others because their icon, a person who has achieved celebrity status, is being scrutinized for his ideas, this is a very dangerous and scary proposition. Because I learned about another man who also wrote a multi-million copy best-selling book, was very wealthy, had cult celebrity status, and whose ideas were not to be questioned, lest they be ridiculed, hated, or even worse. I've never read the book, though, because it's written in German. And besides, the ideas it contains, even though they couldn't be openly scrutinized at the time, have been proven to be idiotic, insane, and disastrous for humanity. Until next time, this is Ernest, wishing your health, wealth, and good luck.